So if he is being stabbed in the back, would you acknowledge at that point that he's no threat to you, right?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I don't know.
The injuries that we see on the posterior backside of Mr. Alexander's chest are not consistent with an individual that was in, say, the throes of attacking another individual. This is consistent with someone that was being attacked. Demonstrated on the back of the torso is a cluster of 9 individual sharp force injuries. This is indicative of a frenzy. The reason I believe that this is a frenzied event is simply by the nature of the number of wounds that we have, not just involving this large cluster of 9 very tightly compact stab wounds, but we also have injuries located in the neck and also superficial injuries that are located on the backside of Mr. Alexander's head. None of these injuries in and of themselves are fatal, but they're indicative of an individual that is being attacked that's going into a defensive posture. Judging from these injuries that Mr. Alexander has, all of these multiple stab wounds, this would give us pause to think that the width of the blade is rather substantial. It's going to be a little bit bigger than, say, your average pocket knife, if you will. Could very well be consistent with something you can find in a kitchen. I don't necessarily know if it was a hunting knife or not, but I do believe that we're probably dealing with a single-edged weapon.
And Morgan also addressed a critical piece of this case. Was Travis Alexander alive when Jodi Arias pulled the trigger?
I grabbed the gun. He was chasing me. I turned around and we were in the middle of the bathroom. I pointed it at him with both of my hands. I thought that would stop him. He got like a linebacker. He got kind of low and grabbed my waist. But before he did that, as he was lunging at me, the gun went off. I didn't mean to shoot him or anything. I didn't even think I was holding the trigger.
Can you tell with regard to the gunshot wound to the right temple whether or not he was alive or not at that point?
Again, there's a wound going through the head, and I don't see hemorrhage in the brain. I can't see a wound track through the brain, so all I know is that there's a bullet going through the brain, so I can't say with certainty.
In my opinion, this injury with the gunshot wound is simply an afterthought. And let's refer back just briefly to these insults he sustained, this gaping wound that he has to his neck, and this telling blow that he has to the sternum here, which penetrates the vena cava. These areas are huge areas for blood supply. This would be consistent with him having bled out. There's no more blood to supply these vessels to have hemorrhaged. So, in my opinion, this event involving this gunshot wound that started above the right eyebrow and concluded here in the jaw was a post-mortem event.